Hey. Welcome to All Tea All Shade with the King of Shade. And tonight I have a panel of guests to talk about our girl, Miss Nene Leakes, honey, this lawsuit that she has decided to pursue against Bravo, Andy Cohen, ABC Universal, Truly Original, and True Entertainment. So we're going to break it down for you guys
Ooh,
tonight
that list of names.
because Miss Leakes is just, she's adamant and she's like, I'm going to get some type of vindication. So let's talk about it. So what are y'all thoughts on it? We can kind of pop one around.
Well, first of all, she got like 11 people on the lawsuit paper.
Oh yes.
I didn't have time to count the name. I was trying to, get you the tea as quickly as possible. But there's a lot of names on there. But I did have a thought of like the way the world is set up. You can be evil and nasty, and that's not a crime, right? But when you take it to the next level of discriminating against race or sexual or preference, age, stuff like that, then it becomes against the law, right? So of course she opened up a can of worms with this whole thing about someone else's behavior, because in turn they could come back on hers. But she could just one or two things. One, she could say, having an evil, nasty disposition is not breaking the law. And then number two, she could say, well, I was just responding to the energy that I was getting. Now, I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not a Nene cheerleader or hater. I'm just, stating my opinion. So I really feel like I've been in a position where she is, on the white versus black. But also, too, for her Kim to get a spinoff, you have to take into consideration you got two different narratives of Kim's spinoff. One, remember she had that big sugar daddy, Mr. Big or whatever she called him, Mr. Invisible, I don't know, whatever his
Big
name
Papa,
was.
I think it was,
Big
right?
Big
Papa.
Papa. Yeah, Big
Yeah.
Papa.
Okay. And then, then she meets a baller, football player. She's got kids. He takes in the kids. They get married. They have more kids. It's like the American dream, right? So it's the fairy tale that, kiss enough frogs, you get a prince. Nobody really wanted to hear that Nene met Greg in the strip club and to hear the plight of a black woman's story from rags to riches. You know what I'm saying? It's not as glorious, luxurious. It's not glamorous. They don't want to glorify, hey, go to work at a strip club and, not saying having a sugar daddy was any better, but the way it was dressed up, so to speak, it just looked more favorable for Kim. So I think that's why she got the spinoff. I really don't think it was anything to do with the hatred or racism portion of it, but that's just my thoughts on the situation, playing devil's advocate, looking at both avenues.
I think with if Nene was younger and that was her story of coming out of the strip club, they would have gave her a spinoff. It's all about how long they can run this narrative. And when we first got introduced to Nene, she was in her mid 40s. No one wants to see that. If she was 18 when she started in the strip club and then she was in her mid 20s, she would have gotten a spinoff. I mean, everything is about marketing and promotion. And the reality of it is that that's not something that people are going to tune in to see. A middle-aged woman that, was in a strip club, met an older man, and he took care of her, and now she's made her way onto reality TV. That's not interesting. I mean, you wouldn't be able to pitch that to anybody.
Right, because it's not like she was in the strip club last week and then he got her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. They had been married for some years and she was already living the life. I don't want to say living a life of luxury, but she was living a better life than she had when she was in the strip club, of course.
Right. And I think with Kim, let's be just really, really clear. We know that we live in a very, very, very impressionable world, right? And we live in a world where beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but it's certain expectations on what is marketable and what sells. Kim is, if you look at Kim and you look at Nene pre-work on both of them, Kim is far more marketable than Nene would be. I mean, it's just the reality. You have this blonde-haired white woman, thin. She meets, she had a sugar daddy. The sugar daddy taking care of her. We don't know who it is, but then, the blogs went and found exactly who it was. And then that made it even more alluring because he's this older man from New York. They Southern girls. And, he got all this stuff going on with a family. So that made it even more alluring. And then
salacious.
Right. Then that goes by the wayside and she meets this attractive blonde hair, blue eye, nice body, what American considers to be, very, really good looking.
Your all-American boy next door.
Yes. And then together they make these really attractive sons and, she got her wild daughters and they're growing up. And so again, if I'm looking at Bravo and I'm looking at what is going to sell and what is more marketable, I am going to go with him. Period. It just makes sense. And that has nothing to do with race or any of that because there were Black girls that got spinoffs from that show as well. I mean, but at that time, Kim did get the spinoff. And again, when you're thinking about money, I'm going to go with Kim. I'm not going to go with Nene. That's just the reality.
What Big Daddy Kane say, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
It didn't make sense. So again, you can't get mad when somebody putting their money up and spending their money. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. It's not even logical.
It's not logical at all. As far as, with Kim getting the spinoff, like y'all said, Kim was more marketable and Kim was leaving the show at the time.
And look at the storyline. So look at the storyline. Big Papa had dumped her.
Yeah, it had dumped her. And so she got the spinoff. When she got the spinoff, she had found her husband.
And you had to find someone as equally important. Like, for real, like if you've been driving a Mercedes Benz for 5 years, you're not finna go get a Honda. You're gonna go get you a BMW or another Mercedes or Range Rover. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna downgrade. So whoever she got with after Big Papa had to be of equal of financial stature.
But the core wasn't equal, so his core was making less than Big Papa.
But he could still, but
he couldn't afford her lifestyle. He could not afford Kim's lifestyle. Kim made more money than he did.
Corey, the only thing with Corey is you're right, but Corey was famous. He was not rich, but he was famous.
Saying. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, because when I say financial stature, I encompass everything about Corey as far as he's famous, and maybe he don't have the money, but celebrity get stuff. No,
he wasn't well known because we didn't know who Corey was until he came.
Well, I follow football, so I knew who he was.
Well, see, you did, but the music like myself, we didn't know who he was until he came on the show.
Yeah, so I follow football, but what I'm saying is he had the ability to uplift the platform that Kim was trying to get. He had access to producers. He had access to endorsement deals. He had access to put her in a room with some people. Big Papa may not have been able to get her into the room with, and if he could, he didn't want to be associated with her in that room.
Yeah, Big Papa ain't want to put her into those rooms. He would never put her in those rooms. She was the side chick. He ain't exactly
doing it. So here you on Main Street being the main chick, so you can enter those rooms comfortably and confidently. So even though he may not have the money, he had other things that were tangible that could lead to the finances, that could lead to this. So when I say like on an equal like playing field, financially he may have made less than her, but stature wise they made a cute couple. They were able to market it and they were able to make money off of it.
Oh yeah, because he definitely helped shift the narrative about her, which was that she smoked cigarettes and wore wigs and did this and that. So she having a child and they having a picket fence of this blended family.
Right, because they had like a total of 4 kids, right?
Well, they got well,
6. I mean, she had her 2, and then they had 4 together.
Yeah, so they got 6 altogether.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the growing pains of having 2 teenage girls. Then you have these 4 little kids. There's all kinds of shows out there about people with all these damn kids. They even got a Black family on one of them channels that got like 14 kids or something. So there's so many ways you could market this particular situation. And if I tell people all the time, we all popcorn. Everybody ain't gonna pop at the same time. Just gotta wait your turn.
But see, my thing is that Nene had she had connections. Because Greg had money. She could have made those same calls because before the show, she was an actress in LA doing pilot season, booking pilots. She was that
remember she was on the New Normal? Is that what it was? Yeah.
She's on New. She got those gigs, but what I'm saying is Nene had opportunities too. She had
she was on
The Apprentice.
What's that? You Can Leave the Boardroom.
The Apprentice. She's on The Apprentice.
Yes.
New Normal. She was on Glee. She did Dancing with the Stars. She had multiple on Broadway.
Yeah, but her attitude was bad. And this is the thing. People don't have to work with you. So see, that's the thing. See, Kim figured that out earlier than Nene did. And that's always going to be Nene's problem. Nene thinks that she's a bigger star than she really is. She's replaceable. She is forgettable. She is nobody. This is the disconnect with her. That's the disconnect, and that's why she's in the situation she's in now, because she really, really thinks this world we're in really used the word celebrity versus influencer on social media too loosely, in my opinion. Nene, in her mind, she catapulted herself in a realm where she thought she was a celebrity. You're not. And every time you show off and try to be a diva, they always show you that you are not a celebrity.
You haven't earned it.
Replaceable.
You haven't earned it. You haven't earned the right to, what do they call it? Like the writer. So like most celebrities, entertainers, whatever, they have a writer. And, I want my water at 73 degrees temperature, and I want only blue M&Ms. And, certain people got the right to act like that because they've done the work. They've been to the acting classes. They've been in the game 10, 15, 20 years. You can't come off reality TV and because you on 4 episodes of a show or you did The Apprentice, you acting like, you Beyonce or something.
Yes. Because she thought she was that girl. She said Hollywood was checking for me.
And they will put you, will put you in your place so fast. And here's the thing about Hollywood, Black Hollywood, Bollywood, whatever. It don't matter. It doesn't matter how many years you have in the game. If you upset the wrong person, look at Monique. Monique been in the game for years. Original Queens of Comedy, the Parkers. I could go on and on and on. And she got blacklisted. And
influencer don't stand. So influencers don't stand a chance. So that's my point. You have to understand how to be humble, gracious.
Yes.
Very people want to work with you. There's a lot of celebrities that people will say, oh, they are just a charm to work with. They are just so easy to work with. Nobody wants difficulty in any job. You could work at McDonald's, and if you're difficult to work with, difficult to be around, they're not going to keep scheduling you. Because you are creating too many problems. And that's her reality.
And it's easier to get rid of one than it is to hire a new crew of 30.
Right. So it's just like, that has always been her downfall. She's always just been very entitled. And in her head, she really thought she was further along in the game than she was. And unfortunately, right now, she's in a space where she's really seeing that she was not that girl. She had a moment, right?
Right.
She had a moment, and anybody smart would have taken that moment and ran with it, and did what they could do to keep on collecting checks and keep on working. But she chose different paths.
What she could have did to make
Bravo has been really patient with her. So that's another thing that's interesting. It's interesting that she has all of this hatred for them. But Bravo has been really patient with her throughout the years. And King and Shay, you and I have talked about this. Mm-hmm. She has jumped in people's faces. She has attacked people verbally. Mm-hmm. She has She has went up against people, talked about their children, talked about them being overweight, talked about their looks. I mean, they went in her closet. She grabbing up the producers. I mean, she has done so many inappropriate things, and Bravo allowed it to slide. Yeah. So now
they helped blow her head up a little bit, but what somebody in her corner should have told her is, you play nice with the people in the sandbox. You play real nice. You get all the gigs. This is that and the third. And 20, 30 years from now, right before you kick the bucket, you drop the tell-all book and bang up some millions for your kids and your grandkids and your grandkids, and you call it a day. You got to play the game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It is a game. I know a lot of people in the industry, which is what I would never want to be in, that dog-eat-dog world. But I've heard the horror stories, casting couches. You got to go play golf with so-and-so. You got to make nice with so-and-so's wife. You going on shopping sprees. You can't even afford the stuff they buying, but you got to look like you got it too, because you're trying to smooze up to people. You play the game. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get to where you are, when you become an executive producer on your own show, or you the director on your own show or whatever, then you can call the shots. But when you just a credit at the top, Nene Leakes as so-and-so, even if you the top name, you're not running nothing. Somebody else sign your check. When you start signing your own checks, and I mean 3 or 4 checks, because you the EP, you the director, you getting creative, created by, written by, all that. When you writing out 5 checks to yourself, then you got the right to do whatever it is that you want to do. But if you only getting 1 check, you need to sit down and play the game.
You do. You really do. Hey, Alicia, you got anything you want to add anything to the conversation so far?
Yep, I agree. Sorry, y'all. I'm beating my friend in basketball right now, but I'm listening.
But yes, I agree. Like I said, Nene should have played the game. You have to play the game. You have to be smart. And I always say Nene was not smart, because if she was smart, she would have did those things. She would have played it out, would have secured her multiple bags, would have used the platform to make sure she has substantial income outside the show. So if this happened to her and she wasn't long on the show, then she could be successful and still flourish. But she didn't do that. She made enemies. She made people not like her. She created this narrative that is now following her, that she is difficult because she does not get along with people. We see that she does not, her relationships with people, her friendships do not flourish, because she's not somebody that can withstand or maintain a relationship with anyone. We saw her and Greg go through their struggles. Like, she pushed Greg away. So she has a lot of issues.
That is the worst label to have in any type of celebrity, famous, influencer, social networking, whatever, to be labeled difficult to work with. You could be a whore and nobody would care if you're a charm to work with. What you do with your private parts, male or female, outside of this screen, we don't care. But when you get a label of difficult to work with, that cut your checks down. You be on them low budget African American movies on Tubi.
And the thing about it is,
not on Tubi.
As a Black woman, when you get that title, that stigma just stings.
It's worse,
and it sits with you. I mean, we've just recently heard Aunt Viv talk about how she got that stigma and she didn't work for years. And she was a real actress, a well-known person in the industry. But once Will, alluded that that's who she was, guess what? We didn't see her anymore. So that is definitely a title you don't want attached to your name, because that lives longer than your career will live.
Right.
Exactly.
And what's really sad about that whole situation is that we're constantly trying not to be the angry Black woman. And I am in a position where 97% of my jobs, I have been not only the only African American person in upper management. I've been the only African American female in upper management. So we have to edit ourselves a lot because you don't want to get that label. Now, and granted, there are many situations where rightfully so, I could have been all in my right to be aggravated, irritated, upset, whatever about a situation, but I couldn't even take it there because I'm the only one, right? And you don't want that label because the hotel industry is big, but it's small. I've worked for several companies at different times in different states. And there were situations where I worked at a company in Las Vegas that could have turned ugly, but I played the game. And then almost 10 years, 7, 8, 9 years later, whatever it was, I worked for that same company in Atlanta. But had I let the Las Vegas situation turn ugly, I would not have gotten that job in Atlanta. So you have to think about those things. And I don't think Nene is thinking about those things because even though the industry is big, it's also small. And word of mouth in certain industries travels quicker than clicks and views on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. And I don't think she had the right people in her camp, because had I been on her team, I'd have been like, you're going to shut up. You're going to do what these people say, and you're going to get this money, and you could.
But I don't think she would have listened to that. See, that's another thing with her. She is good with surrounding herself around yes man.
I'm talking about before she got to the yes people.
Again, I just don't think she always comes across as just not somebody that's gonna listen to good advice. I mean, she's so combative all the time.
And I'm talking about season 1, bad wig.
She was combative then.
See, that's what got her. You know what I'm saying? People come on and they figure out what works, right? But I'm saying, had I been her friend back then, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got a problem with putting my hands on a friend. I'll throw some water on you, slap you, wake you up. Hey, girlfriend, you missing out on the bag acting this type of way. It's okay for you to act like that in front of the cameras, but then y'all need to have an agreement when we get off the cameras. Hey, girl, that was just for TV. Let's go down to Boogaloo's and get some shrimp on the swings. And you know what I'm saying? Kiki and ha, whatever. We gonna work this money. They all collectively needed to get together and work this money. You know what I'm saying? And now when you when she was impressionable, when people could have talked her into doing the right thing, I don't think anybody was there. Now you got the big head. Now you surrounding yourself with yes people. By then, she's too far gone.
I agree. That Nene wouldn't have received that, because even if you would have said to Nene season 1, when she had her original nose and original face and original skin, she still wouldn't have received that. She still would have said, "Girl, bye. I got this. I'm good. I got Greg. I got my kids. I know how to do this show. I know how to run my career. I don't need your help." She still would have gave that energy.
But I understand that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying like if I had just met her. I'm saying if I was a trusted friend in her camp prior to this, you know what I'm saying? I'd be giving out the money advice. I'd be trying to get folks on the money team. You know what I'm saying? So I don't personally dwell in this world, but I know how it works. So my whole thought process is you gonna get the money, or is you gonna get the label? Because it ain't a designer label. It's not a label that's gonna make you no money, and that's what you don't want.
Yeah, but Nene, like I said, she's not smart, and she wasn't thinking about that. All she was thinking about is my fans. I done gained these fans. I done got success. My fans are telling me this is my show. This is mine.
She was thinking for the moment. She's thinking for the moment.
I think long term.
She wasn't thinking long term. That's the
problem. She wasn't. Because she probably didn't think season 1. She probably thought maybe a couple seasons. I think it probably didn't dawn on her maybe till like the 3rd or 4th season or something. I think when they all collectively got on the show, the 1st and 2nd seasons, it was like, oh, this is something to do. We got a little money. We got a little social media, blah, 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 whatever. But I don't know. I'm a long-term thinking person. I mean, That's just the way I think. You know what I'm saying? And I love to secure a bag. I
Yeah,
love to
but
secure a bag.
she wasn't thinking, like I said, thinking long term. Because had she been, she would have been a Bethany Frankel. Bethany Frankel has multiple businesses because she thought long term. She knew this was not gonna last forever. She knew I gotta take this opportunity this bad and make sure I
That
have
what is it? That
lucrative
skinny
businesses
girl
outside the
margarita.
show.
I love that.
Yeah, she has lucrative businesses outside of the show because she knew this is not a long term thing. I got to make sure I sustain longevity outside the show and then
Right.
be able
And
to
she
be.
tried, and Nene tried too late with her little boutique in Miami. You know what I'm saying? You got to strike while the iron is hot. Anybody
And they
that's what I'm
closed
saying.
the one up here.
That's why I'm saying you don't got the right people in your team, because right people on your team would have been like, go now on this because you hot. Go now on this because this is what's popping.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
think about it. To your point that you said earlier, when you're trying to portray a certain lifestyle, she couldn't hire the right people at that time. Let's be clear, because she's trying to portray a lifestyle that she could afford these house in Duluth and all these different places in Georgia, and she couldn't. So she's leasing and renting these cars, these houses. So being able to have the right people in your corner is going to come with a coin. You're going to have to pay the right people to be in your corner and give you the right advice. And see, going back to, she always talks about, I went to college, I'm smart. Clearly, you was ducking out of your classes. You wasn't being smart. But what my point to that is any smart person knows that you go here and secure the right team around you, so that money always will grow. Supposed to trying to rent these houses in Duluth, rent these houses in Buckhead.
Because Duluth, and I lived in Atlanta for 1 year, like 11 to 12.
I lived for 10. I lived there for 10.
Yeah. And then for 5 years later on. And I lived in Norcross and I worked in Lawrenceville. So right up there in that area, them houses are expensive.
They are.
And then to rent them, they are like, let's just say you got like a $500,000 house and it's like a $2,000-$3,000 mortgage. That's what you and I would pay if we were buying it. When you lease it, then people are taxing so that they can pay the mortgage, pay to have maintenance done on it, and put a little money in their pocket. So a $2,000 to $3,000 regular mortgage is going for like $5,000 a month to somebody who's renting it.
Right. And the reality is that's what she was more focused on. She wasn't focused on, paying the right attorneys to read the contracts, paying, the right PR people, paying the right management that's going to keep those lucrative contracts coming her way. No, she was trying to do it herself. And I get it. A lot of people will try to do it themselves. But once we 3 or 4 seasons in, you can hang your hat and say, okay, maybe this is going to go for a minute. So let me go here and start trying to get the right people around. That's not what she did.
And she did it, and that was her downfall. My whole thing is you got to spend money to make money, right? If I'm gonna go make me a lemonade stand on the corner, I gotta go out and get the supplies. I gotta go out and make my lemonade stand look like the best lemonade stand, right? So yeah, so I just saved up all my little allowance from the winter, and I'm gonna go make all that back with the lemonade stand, right? But if I just put a raggedy ass table out there and I got one pitcher with dirty ice water and some half, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody coming to, it's not appealing. So you didn't have the right people around you to make you appealing. You thought this evil villain, nasty attitude, like, yes, they need a villain on every show, but not only did you take it from the show, you took it behind the scenes, you took it to other sets of things you were working on, and now you mad. But you really need to be mad.
She spent that money on that body, that nose, that face, that this, them teeth. She spent the money on all that.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though. It's like when somebody buy a box Chevy with 300,000 miles on it. It don't matter what you dress it up as, it still got 300,000 miles on it.
She didn't get that memo.
You could put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
It is. It's just a pig with lipstick.
So my question is, do y'all think that she has any merits in this lawsuit here, and here's the documents of the lawsuit, y'all. People, yeah.
Well, you said you read it, and it might be some juiciness in there. I don't know.
I'm gonna, you know, I'm going to, you know,
Like he done pulled out the whole legal brief and
yes,
everything.
you got to
I
print
thought
out,
you was about to put your
honey.
suit and tie on, go to court.
Child, we got Johnny Cochran, God rest his soul. We got Johnny
And I'm
Cochran
the
on here.
paralegal. I'm the
Yes,
paralegal. I did the
Yes.
research. He gonna present the case.
Yeah, this is the case. Okay, it says, and I quote, Lanithia Monique Nene Leaks is a plaintiff versus NBC Universal Media LLC, NBC Universal LLC, Bravo Media Corp, True Entertainment, Truly Original, Andy Cohen, Shari Levine, Steve Weinstock, these are producers on the show, Lauren Exline, who's another producer on the show, and does 1 through 25 inclusive. These are the defendants. These are who she's suing. She's suing all these people I just said, y'all. It says comes down plaintiff Lethea Monique Leaks buying through her undersigned counsel who brings the action against defendants NBC Universal, Bravo, True Entertainment, Truly Original, and Andy Cohen, Shirley Levine, C. Weinstock, and Lauren Exing. She brings this lawsuit against them. Nene, she says that NBC Universal, LLC, NBC Universal are in work corporations, limited liability companies, associated partnerships, joint ventures, or other business entities who are at times here and mentioned conducted business in the state of Georgia and through the county of Fulton. Said defendants through their agents or employees took adverse actions and made unlawful employment decisions relating to the plaintiff within the county of Fulton. She says that Andy Cohen is an adult individual who, upon information and belief, is a resident of the state of New York and in all relevant times is and was employed by one or more defendants. So she's listening to people on here. Going through some of this so I can kind of get to y'all to the meet and greet of it. She says the allegation, she says that it says factual allegations, the historical culture or discrimination. NBC and its Bravo network maintain a corporate culture that's insensitive to black talent and fosters racially offensive behavior that goes unpunished. The lack of diversity in senior corporate leadership contributes to a corporate culture that's been insensitive to black talent, a problem in the industry. It says that black professionals are severely underrepresented in executive decision-making roles throughout the entertainment industry. As an example, one study reports that 87% of TV executives and 92% of film executives are white. Another study reports that across broadcast, cable, and digital, only 24% of credited writers are minorities, and only about 22% of episodes were directed by minorities in 2018 and 2019. This is what it says. She's accusing them of not having the representation, child. Y'all see where she's going. She says that she's okay. Let me get to the meeting great, child. This is a lot. 74 pages, y'all. 74 pages of stuff. She says that NBC, Bravo, and True had racially segregated the Real Housewives of franchise for years. Oh, not segregated, y'all. So she's using
Did you go through and highlight the T?
Yeah, I should have. Wait a minute. I should have. But I'm seeing.
Just jump to the good stuff. We can
right.
She says, okay, here, okay, okay, it's getting there. Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, she said because she's bringing in other shows. So let me go back to where she started bringing in other shows. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start here. All right. She said Andy Cohen has become synonymous with Bravo and it's the Real Housewives of franchise playing an integral key part of everything Housewives related. In 2004, Cohen began at Bravo as the vice president of programming. She says he's responsible for creating content, developing in innovative formats, and identifying new talent. Watch Heaven Lives with Andy Cohen then became a second gig to his day job. She says, in September, Bravo started the production of what became the Real Housewives of New York, becoming the first spinoff from the Housewives franchise. The second was Housewives of Atlanta, which premiered in June. She says, the third spinoff was New Jersey. Okay. She says, for years, NBC and Bravo have run the Housewives as a segregated franchise where certain shows are treated as white shows and others are as blacks, with little, if any, overlapping or mix between the two. The segregated culture of the franchise is very reminiscent of the early days of Separate but Equal. That is, the shows are racially separated, purported to be equal, but in fact they are not. Some are not all of the examples of the segregation within the franchise are discussed below. So this is what she breaks down segregation that she's alleging that they are doing. And I quote, Nene said, the historical segregation began with the first franchise, The Real Housewives of Orange County, which aired in April 2005. RHOC's first 15 seasons, not one single housewife had been black. Indeed, not until December 2021, with premiere of its 16th season, did the Housewives of Orange County introduce its first black housewife, Noella. For over a decade, Bravo's next franchise, the New York franchise, was racially segregated and dominated by white housewives. It took 13 seasons for them to finally bring a housewife on the show, which was Ebony K. Williams, the first black housewife. Why it took so long? Only NBC and Bravo can answer that. But in Williams' own word, and I quote, it is so glaring, obvious to me, and I think the rest of the country, that you can't have a show about New York and not have a black woman's lens represented. It doesn't make any sense. So for 12 years, that has been the case. So she's pulling in quotes from the Housewives. She then mentions Kim Zolciak. She says that based out of Atlanta, Georgia, the Housewives of Atlanta, dominated by black housewives, was one notable exception discussed in detail. Miss Kim Zolciak Bierman. She says that similar to Bravo's Potomac show, has been a segregated show consisting of only black housewives throughout. It is based out of predominantly Caucasian Potomac, Maryland. Bravo's Dallas show aired for 5 seasons, and it did not have one black housewife on the show. She said Beverly Hills franchise has been homogeneous and racially segregated. It says the Beverly Hills show ran continuously since 2018. The cast was almost entirely racially homogeneous with white women for over a decade. The sole exception came during one season, which George Gerard, a Latin girl, came on the show. It was not until Garcelle joined the cast, season 10, that his first black housewife. She says the racial segregation within the Housewives franchise is far from unique within Bravo. Rather, the same can be said with the other regular Bravo unscripted series. So she's coming for all the series. She's saying that they all have racial segregation issues. To know this, okay. She said for years, Man Upon Rules has been a notorious non-diverse show. So she's listing all the shows that have been non-diverse. So it's a proof.
But my question would be for her is, knowing this, why did you continue to partake in these shows?
It's for my point, for 10 years. For
That's
10 years.
Because anybody with a brain gonna say, well, Nene, if all these things was taking place, and clearly you've highlighted and outlined this, why would you partake into it and continue to promote this? In fact, you on your own show, you've tried to isolate people, try to have people terminated, try to have them limited. So if even if Bravo was doing this, why would you continue to support this franchise?
Thank you. But according to Nene, she says NBC, Bravo, and Truth also a corporate and workplace culture that has permitted and tolerated, if not encouraged, racially offensive and insensitive conduct, statements, and actions by their employees. This is seen in the repeated instances of such behavior occurring by their employees and cast members without any meaningful consequence, corrective action, or remediation. In fact, it is as if NBC, Bravo, and or True have simply ignored and turned a blind eye to the fact that the talent who works on the shows are also working at their workplaces. And talent, like anyone working in their workplace, have right on the door to a workplace free from discriminatory and harassing conduct based on the color of their skin, as well as the right to speak up and raise concerns that are perceived to be discriminatory or harassing treatment without being retaliated against for doing so. And ignoring the fact that the set of their shows is a workplace for those who work on the show, NBC, Bravo, and or True have consistently allowed racially inappropriate, insensitive, or offensive behavior from its cast members to go uncorrected and unremediated. Some of the many examples of the said are below, which is a non-exhaustive list offered merely for illustration purposes and not by way of limitation or exhaustion. So this is her example. She brings up Lou Ann DeSelps, who was on the New York show, who at a Halloween party, costume party, with her skin tone several shades darker than usual and wearing a 2-foot tall wig, claiming to be dressed as Diana Ross. The wig did not resemble Diana's classic curls. It was instead stereotypical offensive representation. After she was called out on the racially insensitive representations, the steps did not do anything wrong and justified this cultural insensitivity. Neither NBC nor Bravo publicly repudiated it or disavowed the steps racially insensitive behavior.
Okay, pause for 1 second. That was way back when, because y'all remember a couple seasons ago when Kenya came dressed as an Indian, they did not air her at all until she took the costume off.
Yeah, they edited the scene.
They edited the scenes.
Yeah, they edited her out. They aired it initially. They aired it, and then when they got the backlash from the haters saying, "Oh, she's doing that," but she didn't even have the facial paint. Like she just had the headgear and was dressed up. But people were upset about it, and then she publicly apologized to Andy on their reunion stage for the words she did to her boss into the world.
But what I'm saying is, Bravo took action. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they did to a black woman.
So what I'm saying is, you're talking about a situation that happened before everything was so racially sensitive, because we all know that after the George Floyd incident, anything and everything, was as it should be. A lot of things came to the forefront after that. It was already being done and said and maybe talked about, but people were bringing it to the attention. But after that particular situation, more companies, look, every time I opened up Adidas, Nike, whatever, it was about the movement. The NFL was about the movement. All the TV shows, every time you clicked on network, CNN, every time you clicked on something, there was a message about standing in solidarity. So when that happened, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that one is right and one is wrong. I'm just saying the culture changed. And they took notice of that, and they did something about it. When the incident that she's speaking of, the culture change hadn't happened yet.
But she's going back. She's
and even for me, just playing devil's advocate, the reality of it is this. If I am, let's just say, because I'm a big Halloween person, I dress up for Halloween. My girlfriend has a big party every year. If I'm going dressed as the Avatar, I'm not going to go. I'm going to paint my skin blue because I'm trying to be an Avatar. If I'm trying to be Diana Ross, that was my complexion, versus Diana Ross, the complexion she is now, I am going to go with a lighter skin because I want people to look and be like, oh, she's Diana Ross. With that being said, somebody using paint to get into character of what they're trying to do for Halloween, and it's not malicious, and they're not wearing like a KKK hood or something, a noose around their neck and different things like that. I'm like, are we really stretching though? Because again,
what if she wanted to show up as Michael Jackson?
Right, depending on what Michael Jackson I'm gonna show up as.
Right. Do you want it before the nose, after the nose, before the skin bleaching, after the skin? Like it's to me, I feel like Nene is reaching. I do feel like Nene is reaching, because here's the thing. You have done so much yourself. So basically, for every action you did that you could possibly be in trouble for, you want to find a situation to negate that. So if Nene had 37 offenses where they could bring this up in court, I'm going to come with 40 incidences that is going to negate my 37, plus give me 3 up so I can win. So that's how I feel about this whole situation. It's the pot calling the kettle black. Nene know damn good and well that she told Claudia Jordan that her CLITORIS was deleted off of her body by all of the men that she had been with. Now, you can't tell me that's not a low blow. She basically slut-shamed her and called her all kinds of undesirable names. Okay,
which is a racially sensitive slur. She called
Huh?
her, she
Yeah,
called
and
her
she
a half
called her.
breed.
I was getting to that.
Yes, she
And she
did.
called her a half breed.
That's racially insensitive. You a black woman calling another black
And she
woman
should have
a
been
half
kicked off
breed.
the show then. And she never
Exactly.
This ain't
publicly,
school days. This ain't school
right.
days.
She
And
should
I'm
have been
sure
kicked
probably
off the
And
show then.
and for me, I kind of lost a little. I've loved this show because I've always been a big fan of Atlanta, the city, anyway, and I've always loved the show. But for me, because I do feel like I'm a mutt. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if my hair gonna wake up and be white, if it's gonna be Irish, if it's gonna be black, if it's gonna be Native American. I don't know what it's gonna do until I wake up in the morning and start messing with it. So for me, that touched the nerve. Like, just because we're light skinned, and there's a lot of light skinned people whose parents are both African American. It's just genetics way back somewhere. So for me, I lost a lot of respect for Nene in that moment, because I'm like, we can't help who our parents, grandparents, or whoever down the line slept with and gave us our DNA now. You know what I'm saying? Now, so why is that a problem? You know what I'm saying? Because I've dealt with the whole light versus dark and feeling like Oprah, and all my life I had to fight. Either I wasn't black enough or I was trying to be white. So that whole thing for me, I lost a lot of respect for her there.
But they didn't throw her off the show, and they should
And
have.
they should
No,
have.
they didn't. But see, all Annie did was make her apologize at the reunion. The apology was not even genuine. It was half-assed, and she just said, "If I say hurt your feelings, then I'm my bad." Basically, she was not. It was not sympathetic. But she didn't care that she called this woman a racial slur, a black woman.
Well,
Saying
she
black woman.
did her stand-up show and said the woman should be raped. She
Yeah,
should get
she
raped by an
did.
Uber driver.
She did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't.
Yes, and that was a hot mess.
I mean, she's
And that's the thing. Nene goes beyond and below the belt, like
All the time.
into the gut, twist the knife 20 times type deal. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't know where to stop at. Okay, that's just a dig. This is being funny. She wants to go for the throat, the jugular. She's gonna make you bleed out. And for me, that is not attractive. And when you're on a platform, because let's be real, Kim was the only white woman that has ever been on the show. So you are on a show with a cast of however many members, so 98% are black. This should have been a powerful, uplifting, like, black women can go get this money, they can marry good, they don't have to have the black struggle love narrative. There's so many avenues that Nene could have went with that would have catapulted her into a better career, and the route that she chose was just nasty. And then, just like Yaron says, Nene is hurt and she wants those around her to feel the pain. And I always say, almost damn near in every live I do, whatever the situation, hurt people hurt people.
I mean, the reality is it's worked for her up until this point. And so again, you can't love part of the game and part of that lifestyle and don't love all of it. You got to take all of it as one and deal with it accordingly. And that's just the thing. It's like she's throwing a tantrum. She's like a child that, got their ice cream taken and, the parents trying to teach them a lesson and they just kicking and screaming on the floor with a tantrum. Unfortunately, this tantrum that she's throwing right now is going to, haunt her for a very long time because no one will work with her. No one will ever deal with her.
And you can't get mad and go throw a tantrum in court because of a situation that you created. And here's the crazy thing. There's a lot of people that don't know about this, but there's a law and it's called estoppel. It's from a French word. I don't know the exact meaning, but basically in a court of law, if you were my landlord, right? And my lease says I got to pay the rent on the 5th of every month, right? But because I only get paid on the 1st and the 15th or whatever, because I'm a teacher, let's say, I've been paying on the 15th of every month for the 2 or 3 years we had the contract, right? Well, I didn't piss you off and you want to evict me on the 6th. You can't evict me on the 6th. You have to wait till the 15th to attempt to evict me because that's when I've normally paid you. And you've accepted it for so long. So in Nene's situation, you've accepted this behavior from Bravo for so long. How dare you bring your raggedy ass into court and want to complain about it now?
And this is, but she's saying Bravo has done this. She hasn't been able to prove this. It's all alleged. This is what she's saying.
You see this? I got the alleged
examples, but she's giving examples, from different
but
situations.
the examples are from her perspective, and it's from what, right? So that doesn't make them right.
Until you got emails, because let me tell you, when I had my discrimination case, I had emails of a Caucasian female emailing her boyfriend, plotting on how to fire me, and I got a check. Okay, so unless you got the emails, you got the documentation, you got the witnesses to back all this up, you just out there blowing smoke up people's ass.
And then the other side, what she's not also thinking about, when this goes south for her, right? She do realize that Bravo can sue her for their attorney fees. All of these networks she's dragging through the court, they can turn back around and sue her for attorney fees, for time they lost fooling up with this, where they could have been creating other shows. Like she's not.
She has to win. She's all in. She didn't put 10 on 20. She didn't bet on black. She didn't. She is shooting craps for sure. Because if she don't win,
she not
pay my shit.
She not gonna win because
I'm just saying in for her. I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying she is gonna win. I'm just saying for her, she is all chips in. For in her mind, she has to win. Because if you don't win, you gonna end up like that other girl over there owing that other girl $4 million.
Well, see, this is the thing that all the people she can call in, let's just say Bravo is doing this, right? All the people she can call in is still working for Bravo. They ain't going to put their little mess on the line for fooling up with something with Nene, and
you're not about to mess up my children's lunch money.
Most of them don't like her anyway, so they're not going to go ahead, even if Bravo is doing exactly what she has outlined, right? Anybody she can call to speak on her behalf to actually validate this is not going to do it. She is out there on an island on her own.
The only way she's going to be able to do it is if by chance Jill from the copy room got let go and she's disgruntled and she's like, girl, when I was copying them documents, I copied all your shit too. And then she might have a chance. But the average worker is not trying to, you're not finna mess up the church's money. You know what I'm saying? Because then you could also be blacklisted. If that's your career, nobody's going to trust you because they think you're going to flip on them in court. So nobody is going to be willing, because I'm not saying it's an exuberant amount of money, but most people, their bills is paid. Their kids go to a decent school. They got nice cars, on the staff and in production or whatever. You're not about to mess up my money because you want to be stupid. You should have did your shit differently.
Well, I've been looking through the documents, and this is one thing that stood out to me. She says, and I'll quote in the document that's highlighted, the early years of the housewives, let me go back. First, let me start from the top. Then she says, Nene Leakes is subject to racially offensive conduct and treatment on the RHOA. NBC, Bravo, and True condone, accept, and tolerate this work-related racially offensive behavior. The earlier years, housewife Kim Zolciak Bierman, the sole white housewife on RHOA, repeatedly engages in racially offensive behavior. Rather than subjecting her to appropriate remedial action, NBC, Bravo, and or True rewarded Kim Zolciak with special perks and privileges denied to the black housewives. Miss Leakes and the other black housewives speak up, but nothing is done to stop Zolciak Bierman's racially offensive behavior. And that's a lie because Candice currently has a spinoff now. She had multiple spinoffs. So that's a lie. Candice been getting spinoffs day one. So how Kim get something different and Candice has had multiple spinoffs? That's not true. Like, this is a reach. Kim, this is a reach. Because Nene, like the black housewives on the show with you, if they did speak, say if they did speak up, say they did, y'all went to the production and spoke about it, they clearly were okay with where they were, as long as those checks were where they were, so they didn't have a problem with it, and you didn't either. So I don't understand. Going back to 2008 as a way to validate 2022, I don't
And
understand.
let's be clear, as stupid as she's proven herself to be, I doubt very seriously she has any receipts or real documents because she wasn't thinking that way clearly back then because she thought this train was going, stay on the tracks forever. She wasn't thinking that if this train jumps tracks, I'm gonna have something. She wasn't thinking that way because if she was, she wouldn't have even conducted herself the way she has been doing it all these years. So we know she clearly wasn't thinking. What she's doing now is trying to scrounge up stuff, trying to find stuff, and hoping she still has stuff. And that's all good and fine. And then ultimately, I think she's hoping that they're going to give her some nuisance money so that she'll just go away. Unfortunately, these companies that she's suing ain't gonna give her no nuisance money because their reputation is not gonna take a hit behind Nene suing them because Nene's reputation is bullshit. So they're not, they don't have to do that, and they're not going to.
They're not. And she says also here, she says Associate Bierman's racial insensitivity was quickly apparent. It even came out during season 1. During the episode which aired in or about November 2008, the housewives were planning to attend a barbecue at housewife Sean Snow's house. Associate Bierman's response to the idea of attending the barbecue was words to the effect of, I don't want to sit around with needing to eat chicken. The assertion that this African American barbecue would include eating chicken perpetuated an offensive stereotype about African Americans.
Because she said she don't want to sit around and eat chicken. Okay. All right.
Okay, here's another example. Nene gave. She said on the March 10, 2010, when Zodiac Bierman appeared on Housewives Candy Burris, she didn't spell Candy last name right. Ustream show Candy Cody Nights. During the show, Kim Bierman used the N-word when describing the hip-hop band commonly known as NWA.
Niggas with attitudes.
That's the name of the
You
group.
can't say a group name. It's not like you called the group you were sitting with a bunch of
reach.
ninjas.
It's a reach.
Right.
I told you she was reaching.
But yeah, she been reaching. Like this is everything I'm reading is a reach. These examples. She said during season 5,
She
Kim
need to be ashamed of herself.
She said during season 5, Kim Zodiac made multiple racially offensive and stereotypical comments about housewife Candy Burris' new home in Southwest Atlanta. Kim called the neighborhood in which Candy Burris' house is located a ghetto, and she made offensive remarks about birds having an indoor swimming pool, claiming that it was indoor because the birds did not need to tan in the sun, and questioning why she needed a swimming pool because, according to Associated Bierman, blacks don't swim. She no, this is a reach again because when Kim.
Hey, I'm finna switch to my phone.
Okay, it's a reach again because when Kim made those comments, Kim when she said it. It's the truth. Black women, she was saying black women don't swim because black women don't get their hair like to get their hair wet. Most black women are not going to get in the pool and swim. They may
get in the pool, but I ain't getting my head up under the water.
Thank you. And that's all Kim was saying, which is a fact. There was nothing
and guess what? Kim wasn't putting her head up under the water either with the wigs she wears. So.
And then what she said about Candy's skin, she don't have to worry about tanning because Candy is black. You know, black people don't tan. So how is this racially insensitive? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my reading in my life. This is dumb.
Child, this lady got a lot of time on her hand because she ain't working. Ain't nobody hiring her. So she got all this time to trump up all this foolery.
I can't. This is dumb. Like if the reaching is real, y'all. Now she just dragging stuff out, taking stuff and making it what she want to make it be. Because really?
Child, she said she gonna get some nuisance money out of this if it's the last thing she do.
I mean, she's dragging stuff, y'all. Like it's so much stuff she is saying on here. She said that Kim Zodiac Bierman stated while being filmed on air, "These bitches are not my friend. I don't know any of these effing N-word anymore." What? When did she say this?
Baby.
I don't remember this. I watch every
I
season.
guess they, I guess, see, I guess they
13.
edited that out, boo.
Maybe. Yes, they did, honey. She gonna look. Yaron Israel said he need to hit the pole again. She will be because she's broke. So she will be. She gonna throw them big old legs back for them stacks.
This lady ought to be ashamed of herself.
Look, I'm trying to get my life right over here, but
Yeah.
y'all sounding like Alvin and the Chipmunks on my phone. I don't know what's going on.
Chad, it's a mess. Like, I mean, all these frivolous claims she's taking from different situations and manipulating them to make it seem as though Kim was saying things to be racially insensitive to her or other cast members, and what she is reach.
Well, the thing of it is, she knows that we're in a racially charged world right now,
She do.
so she's going to cling to that because she knows that's going to make people's head turns, make their neck snap, and she's hoping that it will do exactly. It will play in her favor so that she can go on and collect that little nuisance money.
Kim leaving the show. She said when Kim left the show, that Black Housewives supposed to receive a reprieve from her racially offensive ways. That's a lie. She says, but the reprieve was short-lived when Kim returned to true form. She said that Kim was in a dispute with Nefertiti Pugh, the sister of Keisha Cole. As a part of the dispute, Kim referred to Keisha Cole's sister Nephi as an African American. It was African American as a that BET and NBC and True Connection employees also Behrman in various capacities thereafter. But we didn't hear none of this. I mean, this stuff like clearly it was off camera stuff. Like I
Hey,
don't.
Alicia said she been backstage for like 30
Okay,
minutes trying to
okay,
get back
Alicia,
in.
I'm bringing you back up because I know you were doing your thing, girl. So I didn't know that you was busy. I'm bringing you back up. Hey, Alicia,
Can y'all
are you
hear me?
there? Now we can hear you. Yes, we hear. We can hear you. What do you want to ask the conversation? What you because we been waiting on you to dialogue it out, but you've been busy. Alicia. Oh, y'all. But anyway, she'll come back in because Alicia. Hold on. She done.
Yeah. Your girl just doing too much. You're gonna have to get her, babe. You're gonna have to get on your show and have a conversation with your favorite
Yes,
Lanicia.
let's talk with Nene, honey, and the boss. Yes.
I didn't say have on my show. I said have on yours.
We're gonna have on your show. She gonna come. We're gonna help her out. She gonna do your show, my show. She gonna do Dina's show. She gonna do Alicia's show. We're gonna have her
I'm
come on all our
good. I'm good.
because she's
I'm
your
great,
sister.
actually.
She's your sister. Y'all black sister. You gotta stand with her.
Everybody black ain't my sister. In fact, I don't have no sisters. I have a brother.
Nene brought up Roach Gate too. She brought up Roach Gate and said bravo, and then allowed her to do that too. Like it's a lot of reaching. Like this is a lot of 74 pages of a reach, y'all. 74 pages of a reach.
That's fine.
Of a reach.
I
Of a
wish her
reach.
well in her endeavors with this lawsuit.
Child, it's I mean, at this point, it's like Nene, like take your L with some class. That's what I expected her to do. Have some class. And say, you know what, my time is done from the show, and I'm gonna leave with some grace. I'm gonna leave with my head high, with my dignity intact, instead of looking desperate and thirsty. I feel bad, not for Nene, but for her sons and her grandchildren, because this is a woman that they look up to. Do you think she will win? Do you think she has a case?
Well, all I got to say is I hope Nene get her shit together because this ain't the business. You can't go crying wolf because you feel mistreated after you didn't put up with 10 years of bullshit. I don't condone it. I don't co-sign it. I'm not with it.
I agree. You just can. What about you? Let's talk. What about you?
I think at this point, once this is thrown out of court, I think what Nene needs to do, what she really needs to do, is just she need to go get herself with some counselor. I had to pay the people to say she crazy, and she went off the deep end. and recant everything she said and play crazy like the others do. And that's why. Because that storyline is what the world likes to see.
Yeah.
They might be able to get back in. How about that? Not on Bravo,
Yeah, I'm a
but
problem. It's
somebody else
done.
might pick her up. Yeah, she could play the crazy role. She was breaking down because she was the ugly duckling growing up. She started getting all this fame, was able to get the look that she so desired. And at the peak of her career, her husband's health started declining. And then she started turning against people that were really her friends, like the networks. And then through her lashing out and her bad behavior, she even launched a full-fledged lawsuit on them, which was completely frivolous. But because of her anger and her rage, this is what she
No,
did. And now she's in counseling, trying to be a better person. And she hopes everybody forgives her. That's a
no,
storyline people will tune in for. How about that?
Man, Alicia, what are your thoughts, Alicia? We haven't heard from you yet. You've been in and out.
no. I don't. I'm going to disagree with Miss Boss Lady. Mm-mm. She don't need to do that because she should have did that like on season 3 or 4, not not now that she ain't no longer on no season. Now, I mean, I can get with behind Nene when she was just like there was a whole bunch of racist comments, but I mean, she just got a whole bunch of enablers. I'm trying to do all my little catch up real quick because I was listening but I couldn't talk. So that's just how I feel about that. I don't. She gonna lose this lawsuit though.
Period. What's your thoughts on everything? Like when I'm read about her bringing in, you bring them examples from other shows, and then saying bring them examples from 2008 to bring it to 2022. Like, what are your thoughts on those references she's using as to
I
prove her?
mean, they valid references. I mean, they just it's you know what? It's just like I don't want to use this as an example, but I have to because it's relevant. It's just like a essay case where they don't want to speak up for 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years because they don't think that anybody's going to believe them. And
Mm.
so she brought up the case from 2008, 2012, and 2020, and they all relevant to what she's saying, but she's just gonna lose because what they gonna say is, but look how you act. Look how
Exactly,
you act.
exactly.
Ooh, I'm so glad back regular.
You said what?
I said I'm so glad I got y'all back regular because y'all was sounding like
Uh
Alvin and the Chipmunks, and I had to
oh.
turn my phone off and turn it back on.
So
Oh, that's
Alicia,
ghetto.
do you think that do you think that they will call upon Kim Zolciak and Candy and the other people from her show to come to the court case to be witnesses to
Not
defend
not
her?
no. And what's her name? She said it earlier that she could, but they ain't gonna mess up their money to help her.
They not, but I think they will. I think she would try it. I think she would try to get Deshaun and get Deshaun to come.
Maybe if it's some housewives that ain't on the show no more,
Yeah.
maybe, but not the
Alicia,
one. Candy ain't messing up her money. Y'all know Todd only make $50,000 a year.
yeah, and
No,
Todd
you
don't work.
didn't.
And Todd don't
Y'all know
work. So
y'all know Todd network only 50. His net worth only $50,000 a year. So if she lose her job on Real Housewives, what she gonna do?
You did not just say that
But
like that.
but she got candy in the game.
Ain't
She
they
got
about to go out of business? They failing health inspections and shit.
uh,
Baby, you did not do that. The
Well, you
shade of
know,
it all.
the shade, the
Uh,
shade. But
yeah.
you know,
So, cause they ain't gonna be able to live off of little low Todd's little $50,000 net worth.
no, and do you feel like, or do you think that Nene, has a valid case, even though we agree that she ain't gonna win? Do you think it's a valid?
She
Or
does have a valid case. I mean, anytime that somebody has experienced that, at the end of the day, this is about racial discrimination in the workplace, which she has allegations and proof that it happened. So that's legit. However,
she hasn't proven it happened to her. She's used examples of what's going on, what we see on different shows to say that they allow certain things to go
Well,
on the shows, but they have also handled black women on
well,
her
Kim,
show the same way. They make
yes,
Kenya apologize. Andy made Kenya apologize for calling Kim Fields' husband gay. He made Kenya apologize for that Native American stuff. Like he's made Portia apologize for getting physically violent on the show. Like he's made her own. He's made them do things too. So like you can't. My thing is,
yeah, but at the same time, but it was on TV. Like they put that in the show when she said that she didn't want to go to Nene's house and eat chicken.
I mean, she said it, but it was shade, and they knew it was shade. It was shade. It wasn't like the
Yeah, but
environment
it's
was
different.
black.
It's different if me and you say it. A white person can't say that.
But that's a reach because she knew Kim was being shady. Kim was not saying attacking her because she was black, and I hate that she's taking it and trying to say, "Oh, Kim said it because I was black." No, Kim said it because she was being shady because y'all were not cool at the time of the film. Y'all just got into it, so she was not gonna
But she
come and
said it.
hang with y'all. But it wasn't
And she
racially
called her the N
motivated.
word. Listen,
We
anytime
didn't
a
hear
white person
that.
call,
We didn't hear the N word. I ain't never heard the N word. You ain't never heard the N word. This is what she's saying. But if she said it,
allegations, if
allegations,
she can prove it,
allegedly, she can't.
listen, it ain't what you know, it's what you can prove in court.
Yeah,
And
she better
I
have
was just about to say that same thing.
she better have
Everything is
recorded.
allegedly until you can prove it. But here's the
Exactly.
thing,
Yeah,
there's a big difference between shade and racism.
Exactly.
yeah. A
A
white
big
person can't say
difference.
a white person can't say I don't want to go over there to eat fried chicken. But we listen, we about to go over here and fuck this chicken up. There's a big difference.
But
Big
Black person
difference.
don't
So
eat
she's
fried chicken or eat chicken, period. So I guess for me,
but why would a white person say that?
well,
So
being
think
let's just
about it.
be
shady.
Hold on. But this is you could also take it this way. Not now because chicken is very expensive. But back then, chicken was one of the cheaper meats outside of hot dogs you could buy for a
Sure
cookout.
was.
So I'm taking it as she's like, I don't want to eat no chicken. Ain't like they're gonna have steaks, kebabs, spare ribs. They're gonna
That
have
part.
chicken, and
she
I
said
don't
fried
want to eat
chicken.
it.
But that's how
She said
I
fried
took
chicken.
it as Kim was being shady. Kim was being Kim. She just was
Yeah, she
being
was saying
shady.
Nene
All
was
she did.
broke, and that's all she's gonna be able to afford is chicken.
And she didn't want to go to the Sean house to sit around and eat chicken because they were barbecuing. They barbecue chicken. Let's be real here. They did barbecue chicken. So her dig was a dig. It was just being shady. She wasn't meaning saying, "Oh, because Nene's black, I'm attacking her because she's black." Like it's a reach to take that one statement and dissect it as, "Oh, she's being racist, we're being racist to Nene by saying she didn't want to go eat chicken with Nene. She just didn't want to go eat chicken. She was being funny. It was
And
shady."
my thing is the way Nene has fought to get other people off the show, Claudia,
And anyway, she's attacking.
Cynthia. If she really felt that back then, why
Yeah,
didn't she fight and be just as diligent to get Kim kicked off the show?
come on
But
now.
She
hold on.
tried,
If she
allegedly.
would have said, I don't want to go over there and break bread with Nene, would that been a racial slur towards the Christians? I mean, come on
No,
now. She's reaching.
it's a
She is
reach.
reaching.
It's
I
a
disagree.
reach. It's a reach, and like Nene has
And
attacked. She,
we can agree to disagree,
we
but
can.
I'm just saying
It's a reach.
there's a difference between um saying certain statements to be racist and hurtful, and then there's a difference in trying to be shady. And that's
Exactly.
everybody know it don't matter if you white, black, orange, yellow, green, or purple. Everybody know you throwing chicken on the grill at a
Come on
barbecue.
now. It's barbecue. You barbecuing
It's a
ribs,
barbecue. You gonna
chicken,
have
and beef.
chicken, ribs,
And
hot
beef.
wings,
Burgers.
sausages. You know what I'm saying? Corn on the
Yes.
cob, some vegetables. You know what I'm saying? If
Yes.
you fancy, you might throw some steak and some shrimp and some lobster on there. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, any barbecue, unless it's the child's 3-year-old birthday party, is and they just doing burgers and hot dogs. I guarantee you, any barbecue you have ever been to has chicken, white, yellow, green, purple, or whatever. Got
Yes.
chicken.
And she just saying it like 'cause she knew chicken was gonna be there. Like, I don't wanna go eat no chicken with Nene. I'm not trying to do that. That's what she was saying. It wasn't to attack her because she was black. Like that's a reach. That's really a reach. in my opinion. And Nene's reaching with that and trying to take that and make it a racial thing. I mean, Nene is attacking Kenya Moore skin, a black woman. Phaedra attacked Kenya Moore skin, a black woman. A black woman attacked another black woman about her skin.
Phaedra ain't filing a lawsuit, and Phaedra ain't on the show no more.
But my point is, Nene has talked about a black woman's skin on the show repeatedly, called a black woman ugly, said her skin was ugly. So we're not gonna do the racial thing when you literally attack a black woman, you black yourself. You can't say racial.
That's colorism because she attacked her skin and she called her a buffalo.
Yeah, and her baby a buffalo. Unborn baby.
No. She didn't call the baby a buffalo. She was saying that basically she's gonna have a little buffalo.
The baby.
In order to have a little buffalo, you must first be a buffalo. And she was talking about how wide Kenya was.
But she was attacking. She was attacking the baby as well because you having a buffalo. And Brooklyn is not a buffalo. She was calling Brooklyn a buffalo. She was attacking the baby.
No, there. I mean, you know what? My grandma, when I went into false labor and didn't have my kid, she's like, well, I guess the little alien ain't gonna come out. I mean,
but your grandmother. But your grandmother, she loves you, loves your children. Nene's not her sister. But Nene's not her sister, Nene's not her mother. So you can't call them, you can't say my baby's a buffalo, I'm having a buffalo. That's not, and we don't like each other. So you definitely.
But you gotta be a buffalo to have a buffalo. That's what everybody is missing.
But she was attacking Kenya and attacking Brooklyn.
That's what I'm agreeing with. Baby. She was attacking
both. An unborn baby.
What I'm saying is she was attacking Kenya, not the baby.
She was attacking the baby. Because when I say you having a buffalo, Brooklyn is a baby you getting ready to have. So you calling Brooklyn a buffalo. And Brooklyn's not a buffalo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was calling Kenya the buffalo. Because, she's not saying a koala is having a buffalo.
She was calling Brooklyn the buffalo, and Brooklyn was not an animal. She was calling Brooklyn a buffalo.
Brooklyn is a beautiful child.
Beautiful. Okay. Look better than Brent and Bryson any day. Look better than Brent and Bryson any day, honey.
Why are you talking about two kids looking better?
Because she has another complicated style.
Here's the thing, though. Pregnant, and Nene should know, pregnancy takes a toll on you that you don't know what direction it's going to go on. I had 2 children where I gained 60 pounds and I was looking like a beached whale. And I had 1 child where I was 7 months pregnant and I was still wearing Daisy Dukes. Okay? You don't know where pregnancy is going to take you. And Nene was foul for that because you don't know. Kenya got no control over what that baby do to her body.
But didn't she call Portia fat too?
Yeah,
that's
yes. Body shaming. She was body shaming.
Nene ain't never been fat. What's that oldest boy's name? What's that oldest boy's name with his big old watermelon head? You know damn good and well that motherfucker came out 11 pounds or something, and you know she was swollen as all motherfucking get out. She need not talk about nobody because just because we don't got no pictures, videos, and social media of Nene being big, don't be hating on somebody else because their body went south or north or east and west while they was pregnant. Nobody can control that shit. You could be fat and get super skinny. You could be skinny and get super fat. That pregnancy thing is an exemption.
Exactly, but she attacks people's looks. She body shames people.
Yeah.
So for her to get on this lawsuit and make it seem as though she was treated a certain way or that she was attacked, you attacked. You said the most cringiest things about people on the show. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Bravo.
And guess what? The crowd cheered for her. The ratings was there. You know, she got her bag. She kept commanding more money every season, and life was good. It was good until it wasn't good no more.
That part.
And now you want to cry wolf because your bank account done dried up.
I've been blackballed. I can't get work in Hollywood.
You've been blackballed because you evil, you're snippy, you're bitter, you're going off on people unnecessarily. You got a bad attitude. You judge yourself out of a check. Nobody did that to Nene but herself. So if you want to sue somebody, sue your alter ego. Remember when they did the alter ego episode?
Yes.
Sue your alter ego
She
for the money that you lost, because that's the hoe that lost you your check.
Period. Nene, as she called her. Nene.
Yeah, Nene lost you your check.
Baby, maybe Nene is the one showing up in court, hunting. Nay.
Well, she might got another personality. We don't know. I don't know.
Lalita is going to show up in court.
Oh shit! I'm on the wrong floor.
It's going to be composed and classy in court.
Okay.
We're gonna see Lalita show up. So it's crazy.
You said you better hope that who's gonna show up.
I said Lalita. I said Lanita's gonna show up. She's gonna show up to court. So she's gonna be classy and elegant.
I'm on the wrong floor.
So
I don't live on the last floor.
Yeah, Lanita's gonna show up to court. She's gonna show up, y'all.
Y'all, this is my time. I got to go.
All right, thank you for coming. Let's talk. Let everybody know where they can follow you at and find you.
Oh, I can be followed at _ Let's Talk 13. I'm your girl, Lady Boss #1, and it has been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming by.
And thank you as usual, my dear friend. You always keep it live and popping. So we will talk soon, and it was a pleasure meeting you, ladies. Everybody have a great evening.
Thank you. We're gonna get Nene on your show. I'm gonna reach out to her.
That's a hard no, a negative. So we're gonna leave me out of it. But I will watch if you get her on yours. I will watch and even put comments and questions in the chat for you, my love. You know your girl got your back. You laughing because you know you're being messy right now.
Let's talk with Nene and the boss. Yes, let's talk.
No. But you have a good one, babe.
Thank you, too.
Hey, speaker man.
Alicia, so you feel the opposite. So explain more why you feel the opposite of what we feel.
I mean, no, I do. So, sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all hear my little fur baby. Go get on the bed. I don't want to say that I feel the opposite. I just feel like, I mean, she do have a case. It just ain't a solid case. Mm-hmm. But she, she does have it. She does have a case. However, I'm not disagreeing with it being a reach, because it is. It's definitely it's definitely a reach. However, she actually, she got a case. I mean, even though if we subtract how she treated other people on the show, subtract that, she has a case. She got a case. That's it.
See, if she would have a case if she wasn't who she was. If she was another person that didn't have all the negative backlash that comes with her, the negative reception that comes with her, then this case would be hers. But because she has a history of being difficult, being nasty, and very rude to people.
So who is the one to say that she's difficult? I mean, if it's
a lot of people.
If it's cast members, she's been beefing with the hoe, and ever since she's been on the show, I don't feel like they credible. But if it's like
we're talking about people from the new normal. We're talking about people from The Apprentice. What was that other show you said? Glee.
Glee.
It was
she
people
was
from other shows.
I mean, it is what it is.
And other producers that she worked with. So.
Oh, that's ghetto.
Yeah.
It is ghetto. It's very ghetto.
That's what that's the path, that's the avenue that she chose. So now she has to continue on with it. I mean, I'm not saying that she has the best case, but that's just how she feels.
Yeah, she don't have the
best.
Got
a low battery.
That's my microphone, y'all. But she doesn't have the best. She doesn't have she's not gonna win. She's wasting her money and her time. She's not gonna win.
I mean,
Do you think she's
Yeah.
gonna win? Do you think she's
Hmm.
you think she's gonna
No,
do
I
you
don't think that. No, I don't think that she's gonna win. Um,
Hold on
I
one
don't.
second, y'all. I'm in the liquor store.
think
Okay, I don't think that she's going to win. Um, but she has a case.
yeah, because
No,
I
my
can agree
dog
to
is so
that.
disrespectful.
But I can agree to that. She does have a case, but like I said, if she was somebody else that was suing that didn't have the reputation and the negativity that precedes her, then she would have a solid case to win. And because she has a history of being this difficult disaster of a person, this case is null and void. So she's wasting her time, and she's going to look stupid when it all ends and they tell her, "Ma'am, you have no case. You ain't got no merit on what you're saying." And the claims you're making against these production companies in this network and your former boss slash
Well,
your former friend.
well, I just feel like she needs to. If she was just gonna sue, I felt like she didn't need to go all extra and sue. Um, and sue. I feel like if she was just gonna sue, then she needed to just sue the executive producers of the show, not suing NBC and Universal and all of those things, because suing somebody of a major caliber like that, you ain't gonna be able to work nowhere. You,
Nowhere.
you might as well work. You best to go. You might as well just go ahead and get you a little job at Shane's Rib Shack,
Child.
and that's gonna be it. Or you gonna be doing commercials, and
That's about
then
it.
them and then you're gonna be doing commercials, and NBC ain't gonna show them commercials.
Show
So
them.
you just burnt a bridge with some with you just and you had the match and the gas and the lighter fluid, because you should have just you should have just, if you felt some kind of way about what you call it, about how the executive producers treated you of the of God damn it, Real Housewives, then you should have just sued the executive producers and Bravo TV and continued on, not suing in NBC. I feel like her, that's the part where she gonna lose. She might have been able to win if she just sued Bravo.
Exactly, I agree. She's going after these different entities, and she's really setting herself up for failure and to also be exposed because they also have they have footage, they have stuff that we don't even know they have. They work with this woman, so they have documentations, things that were said to them by other people, that productions and stuff, and then she put her hands on a production. So like she's going and suing these companies where she's actually done things to these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
she's put her hands on three people that we know of. She choked
yes,
Kim. She choked Kim one season. She pushed Portia down one season, and I believe that same season is when she put her hands on production.
yes, that same season, yeah, when she pushed Portia, she knocked the man too foul, ripped his shirt off, sent him to the hospital. Yeah, like she put her hands on production. These people work for you, and you abused them because you got mad because you didn't want them in your closet. Like all this stuff's gonna be brought up in court. So they're going to drag her character because she has none. So she better get ready to be.
She opened up a can of worms. The one thing before you go
Mhm.
and tell your story on the internet, or you decide to go to court and bring claims like this against somebody, you need to make sure that your shit is pure, okay? Like
Hello,
pure Colombian pure, okay? And
hello.
it's not. So she has opened a can of worms. So in this situation, her thing is like 50-50 basically, because yes, she did some foul stuff. The people she's alleging did some foul stuff. But at the end of the day, it could be a mute point. Like y'all know, when y'all watch football and one person does something, that's a foul on the play, and the other person retaliates, that's a foul on the play. And they say the fouls on the play offset each other. second down. That's what's about to happen because whatever Nene did versus whatever she claimed everybody else did, they about to offset each other, and
Yeah,
it's just a waste of money.
but yeah, and she ain't got much money because the only she got right now is Anita's Lounge. So she wasting the money she do got.
And
So,
I mean, now I'm pretty sure, I'm not trying to speculate, and I do not, by any means, am I trying to talk ill of the deceased, okay? But, when you get to a certain stature, I'm sure Greg had a nice life insurance policy, but
oh
that's
yeah,
not going to last forever. You know what
no,
I'm saying? Plus, whatever money she has saved from her various entities outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So she might have a little money, but it's not going to be the type of money that's going to sustain her lifestyle for the next 20 or 30 years. Now for someone who ain't trying to showboat, it might be enough. You know what I'm saying? But if you trying to be on page 6 every day, it's not going to be enough.
it sure ain't gonna be enough at all. And like I said, she just needs she really talking about she really gonna be out here talking about she blackball because she gonna be really looking pitiful in these streets. She already look
Hmm.
bad. This is gonna make her look worse. Like, why would she do this to herself?
Right. And I mean, she might be holding the Joker. There is a strong possibility that they got something because the lawyers that she has saw something to make it worth their while, right?
The
Now, you
reaches, the
got,
reaches,
huh?
the reaches, all those
The
reaches.
Regis, you know what I'm saying? And there could be some behind the scenes footage we ain't seen because, like I spoke the other day, like when you start to go to trial and you start filing these motions, there's discovery, which means her legal team can request all these behind the scenes footage, videos, blah blah blah, whatever from Bravo and all these other entertainment people and whoever, right? As well as the Bravos and whoever people's attorney can get information from Nene's attorneys or whatever. So they might be reaching that they're gonna have some little intern paralegal somebody watching thousands of hours of videos trying to find something, and maybe it's something in there and she just don't know what day and time it was said, and they might have a bomb. That is a strong possibility. However, when you go down that road, you know what I'm saying? You this is like a John Grisham book. You praying for the stupid letter. And if you don't get the stupid letter, then you gonna be looking real stupid in court.
Very stupid. Very, very, very stupid. Well, we're gonna keep our eyes out on this Nene Leaks case, y'all. We're gonna keep y'all up to date. Thank you, Dina and Alicia, for coming on here and sharing your thoughts and giving us your commentary on Lanithia's case. Where can the people reach you at, Dina?
I am Dina, aka Christina, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Christina Moore on Facebook, and make sure you keep checking those websites that I sent you
I
for the
will.
latest and update on the court happenings.
I will. And Alicia, where can the people find you?
Okay, hold on. It's Alicia.
Oh, Alicia, I'm sorry. Alicia, where can the people find you?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you can find me at oh well, it's I don't know if you can see it, but my Instagram name is my little name at the bottom of the screen at Alicia Allure, and I am Lee with the T on YouTube.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it there. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll chat with y'all another time.
It
All
was a
right.
great time. I look forward
Yeah.
to going back with you again.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
fun. Fun, fun, fun.